It is May 14th. Um, and look at the weather outside. It looks absolutely gorgeous. It's green and beautiful, and the flowers are everywhere. And whew, it's good stuff. I am always excited to connect with you all over here on YouTube. This is a place where I will be doing more lives, hanging out with you more, checking in with you more. And I know that many of you have a lot of health questions, so I am always on here. So if you don't know who I am, if you're new to following me, my name is Muniza Ahmed, and I am the Intuitive Medicine Woman. I have been helping people heal from chronic illness and autoimmune illness for over 10 years. And I've been using medical medium information to help people for 10 years. And it's been a joy to see the kind of progress that people make when they are using these protocols, because they really work. So if you're on here, let me know. Say hello in the chat box. Let me know who you are. Let me know your name. Let me know where in the world you are joining in from. And I look forward to answering your questions on children's health today. So I know that children matter a lot to us, right? Because many of us are mothers, or we are grandmothers, or we are uncles and aunts, or we are caretakers of children. So children matter a lot, and our children's health matters a lot. Many of you have been asking me for months and months and months. We ran the Live Flourish program last year, and the Live Flourish program was, we had tons of people join, lots of families join. It was such a beautiful experience. Nice to see you all here. So we ran the children's program. We talked about children's health. We actually got children involved in the program, which was really fun. And now we just launched Flourish, which is the self-paced part of the program for parents and for caretakers. Zora, you're in Georgia. Nice to know. How's the weather there right now? Is it spring, or has it gotten really hot already? So if you're joining in, drop me your name, tell me where in the world you are joining from, because it's always nice to bring our community together. And I wanted to share about our new program, because all of you have so many questions on children's health. The program is really covering zero to 8. We cover baby issues, infant issues, baby issues, toddler issues, and young children issues. We cover teens and tweens. And so you cover the breadth of the program, and we have about 9 guest speakers who are all speaking to baby health, children's health, difficulty with children's behavior. Hi, Cara Hogan from Texas. Nice to see you. Celia Shu from Taiwan. Hello. Nice to have you here with us. Flourish is just Carla from Massachusetts. Welcome, Carla. Leah from San Francisco. It's early there, isn't it? It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. Sophia from Germany. Welcome. And so I would love to hear from you if you guys have children's health questions. Dana Manetta, hello. Or Dana. Claudia, you're back in Utah. That's nice to know. I'm so glad that you were able to go and help your friend. I know that you traveled across the country in your car to go do that. That was just amazing. And it's just so nice to see all of you here and joining in. So, in the Flourish program, we also cover information about fertility and how to prep for birth. It's a little bit on that. Somebody just said hello. Hey, Erin. Somebody before Erin said hello. I cannot follow the chat messages. Let me see if I can open it up on my laptop so that way I can follow here. Okay, so ask me questions if you don't have children and you want. This is a Q&A. So ask me questions about your health, about questions you might have. Some of you may have seen I just posted a post about my health. And I've had poor eyes since I was 10 years old, and I've been wearing glasses since I was 10 years old. So I needed them to see the school board. I needed them to see distance. I couldn't see TV. I couldn't see, if I was out and about, I needed to wear them all the time because, hey, Serena, happy tail, and Happy Trails and Tails. Nice to see you. Hey, Claudia. So we talked about the time. Kara says, how do you get weird? Let me check on. Can you not hear me? Can you all, if you're listening, let me know if you can hear me or if you cannot hear me. Let me know, let me know. Zahara says it's very choppy on her end too. Okay, you guys hang on just 1 second. I'm gonna correct something. It's a little glitchy. Erin says it's much better. It gets choppy every few seconds. Okay, hold on 1 second. I'm gonna try and fix something. Okay, so is it better now? Let me know if it's better now. All right, so if you don't have a question about children's health, like I said, ask me any question. The whole point of coming on here is to give you time and space to ask your questions. So what I was sharing with you about eye health, hey Luminita from Romania, nice to see you here. I wore contacts and glasses from the age of 10, and by the time I reached my 20s, I want to say early 30s, I had stopped wearing my contacts. I just gave them up because I started to react to my contact lenses and I didn't want to wear them anymore. And then I researched the toxic ingredients in contact lenses, so I didn't want to have them in my eyes anymore. Then I started to wear my glasses, and I used to wear them as full-time as I wore my lenses because my eyes were still so bad. But as my eyes started to heal, I stopped needing my glasses and I just stopped wearing them. My doctor, when I last went to the ophthalmologist, asked me if I wore them. How often do I wear them? I said, like, only when I drive or maybe when I watch TV from a distance. And he's like, yeah, like, it's amazing that you don't have worse eyesight or that you're not starting to become farsighted, which happens when you get older and you become farsighted and you actually can need glasses for reading or bifocals or transition glasses, right? So, yeah. So it's been really amazing. So I hope that you guys, are really listening to this information that we're sharing, because it matters to know the truth, right? It matters to know that your eyes, of all things, can heal. And I'm sharing because so many of us need to know this. So many of us need to understand that we can really, really get better. One of the key signs of eyes getting better is that you're removing toxic heavy metals from your body. And if they're going from your eyes, they're going from everywhere else too. They're going from your brain. They're going from your central nervous system. They're being removed from your liver. It's just that from your brain and your liver, you can't really always tell that they're going. So yeah, that's an important thing to know. Okay, so Dana says, what supplements to take for cataracts? So for cataracts, it's really important to do a liver cleanse. It's really important to focus on multiple 369s, because cataracts form from the debris, that old, gunky, sticky debris that comes out of the liver and then deposits into the eyes, right? So 369s, multiple 369s. Cataracts are not easy to clear. It's one of the things Medical Medium has shared, that they're a little bit tougher, but they can be done. I've seen it done with, it's rare, like I said, I've seen it done with one person who made really great progress. Dana says her 18-year-old has them. So that's really important to be aware of, right? So do the 369 cleanses, lower your fat levels, and increase hydration. One of the things from cataracts, one of the reasons they form is because of chronic dehydration in the body, right? You're not getting enough flushing. There's not enough, it's gooey. The blood is kind of thick and gooey. All right, so I hope that helps you, Dana, and helps getting, and saffron is a really great herb. The liquid tincture saffron that you can get from Hawaii Farm is really helpful for cataracts. Happy Trails, Wagon Tails. If you have had a bad accident, ending up in the hospital, what would you do if you don't want blood? So if you don't want blood, and if you have a bad accident and you've lost a lot of blood, try and get a family member to give you blood. But the thing is, it has to match. Excuse me. Speaking of sneezing, people are asking about sneezing on the call. I didn't take any golden seal right then. So So basically, if you don't want blood, you can ask a family member, but if you've lost a lot of blood, sometimes you don't have a choice. Because if you don't get more blood in you, you could die. So it really depends on how close to life and death that situation is. Like, the more you lose blood, and it takes time for your body to replenish it. So if they don't give you blood, your hemoglobin's so low, your blood volume is so low, there's not enough nutrients and oxygen glucose being able to be carried by the blood to all of the cells. So it's a real life or death situation. So it's not so simple as I can just refuse it. Like, if you don't wish to live anymore, then yeah, sure. But if you do wish to live, then yeah, it would be important, right? Amanda says, my kids would like to know why they sneeze when they take Golden Seal. So Golden Seal really starts to knock out all the strep. It starts to irritate the strep. That's why you sneeze, because it's strep in the nose and in the sinuses that starts to run, right? Away from Golden Seal coming to attack it. Hip Hop's Healthy Habits. Hey, Karen Miller, how are you? It's nice to see you here. Good morning, she says. What metals are detoxing in the body when the black occurs during cleanses? It could be any of them, right? Because metals, when they oxidize, they turn dark. Like, look at silver. If you have any pieces of heirloom silver passed down from like generations, or you have iron, which can rust. All metals, when they oxidize, even if you're wearing like a gold wedding band, it will start to turn a certain color. It takes the longest to oxidize, but it does eventually oxidize if you wear it every day, right? So, I mean, if you keep it protected and in an airtight container where no oxygen can get to it, then yes, it'll be preserved and it'll not color at all. But if something is exposed to the air, it will oxidize. So metals of all kinds turn a color when you're oxidizing them. See, it's hard to know which one it is exactly. So Mandy says, frequent bloody nose that takes getting cauterized to stop the problem. What causes it? Strep. Yes. Frequent bloody noses is caused by strep. Really important to pay attention to that, right? Are you doing strep protocols? Are you taking Golden Seal, Lomatium, OSHA, Eyebright? Are you taking vitamin C and zinc? Are you doing time water? Are you doing the turmeric garlic shots? And all of these are protocols that help with strep. So bring them in and help. And you can even spray silver up your nose, and you can even do a Golden Seal spray. Eclectic Kids, which is a kids, where they make great products for kids, and Anthony has them linked on his kids supplement list. They are excellent for nasal sprays to go up the nose, to knock out some of that strep locally, but you also have to do it internally and systematically as well. Okay, next question is from Carolyn. Carolyn says, I am a nanny and I have a question about toddlers. The girl often has a tantrum with screaming and the boy often bites and hits. Do you have an experience of how food is influencing this? I would say that the most critical thing with girls or children who are having tantrums, biting, and things like that, there's a lot of toxic heavy metals in their brain. So it's not just, yes, they may be eating really poor foods, but they also have poisoning in their brain that's causing that. And there's also a level of PTSD that I think that the children have experienced that is causing them to react that way. Children don't just react that way. That's not normal. And we humans, like babies especially, are born happy and gurgly, and we get attracted to them for that reason, right? Because they're so pure and innocent and sweet, and that's their true nature. And the true nature is always the same, but we can be influenced by other poisons as to our personality can change because of that, right? It's really, again, a crucial thing to know. So if you're their nanny, I don't know how much control or influence you have over the parents, and whether you can suggest to them that they could do something different. I don't know. It would be good to check with them to make sure that, just suggest if you want to just suggest, and hopefully it'll help. See the Shoe says, I joined this Flourish program last year and it helped a lot. Highly recommended. Thank you, Celia. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Yes, it's a program very close to my heart because of the children and because it helps parents help their children. So if you are a caregiver or you are working with children or you are a teacher or you interact with children, it's just a really great program because we actually interview teachers on this program. We have teachers who come from a holistic education backgrounds who talk about how to work with difficult children, difficult toddlers, difficult teenagers, how to change teenage behavior so it becomes better instead of harder with them, right? How to bring trust into that. So we have experts on child development who talk about these things as well. Okay, so next question. Does coconut water work for plasma? Yes, coconut water is it's a direct substitute for human plasma. Sophia says, is it important to drink celery juice right after getting up, or can I do something else first and then drink it? You can do lemon water first and then drink celery juice, but nothing else, okay? Kim Vogel says, what do you recommend for toenail fungus? A doctor said to use white vinegar. What does Anthony recommend? And what about ingrown toenails? Any home remedies? So, white vinegar doesn't really work for toenail fungus. Toenail fungus happens because the immune system is overall weak. And to fix that, you want to work with building the immune system. Shaga helps to build the immune system. Zinc, micro C, cat's claw, golden seal, lemon balm help to build the immune system. Cutting out the no foods, eggs, dairy, gluten, corn, soy, canola help to heal the immune system. But building the immune system is the number one thing for supporting your body to get rid of fungus. If there's any fungus, true fungus, often fungus is misdiagnosed, but yes, toenail fungus is often true fungus. And if you have any fungus on in your body anywhere, like a skin issue or a toenail fungus issue, you know that the body's immune system is weak because fungus is one of the easiest things for our body to get rid of. So I would use golden seal a lot. Topically, there's not a lot you can do. You can try to soak in silver, golden seal, a golden seal, diluted golden seal liquid, that can help. So yeah, I hope that helps, Kim. Not sure if it's, and by the way, Medical Medium has a protocol in Cleanse to Heal that is all about healing toenail fungus. So go look that up. It's in Cleanse to Heal. All right. Next question is from Dursis Castillo. And they ask, it's good news when you stop having diarrhea after celery juice. Oh, it's great news. It means you've cleared out quite a bit of the poison load in your body. Carolina says, what do you recommend for sneezing? When sneezing and urine escapes, so you're having incontinence, urinary incontinence, that's also caused by strep weakening the bladder tissues. So you want to, again, do the strep protocol that I spoke about earlier, but also cutting out eggs, dairy, gluten, corn, soy, canola from the diet, right? And cutting out caffeine because that all weakens the body systems. These are foods that feed the viruses, they feed strep, and you want to get them out. And they feed pathogens like Epstein-Barr and shingles and things like that. You want to get those foods out of your system so that you can continue to heal, right? That's really important. So what can support you with urinary incontinence? You can do the basic Core 7, which I recommend, which is B12. And all of these supplements are from Vimergy, so B12, zinc, micro C, lysine, cat's claw, lemon balm, licorice root. And then you can bring in golden seal and then curcumin, and do asparagus is really good for bladder issues. And so is arugula. Okay, black grapes, red grapes, purple grapes, those are also helpful. And you may want to think of bringing in Femdophilus, which is by Jarrow, and Anthony has recommended that for bladder incontinence and bladder issues. I hope that helps you, Carolina. Okay, Zahra says, what do you use for itchy eyes for seasonal allergies? I would put some sovereign silver in your eyes and make a golden seal wash. So I'm actually going to do a reel on how to do a golden seal wash because I get this question all the time. So you just take like an ounce of water, clean filtered water, and put like 2 drops or 3 drops of golden seal in it, and then clean your eyes out with it. So that should help clear it, and you shouldn't have any discomfort after that. Okay, next question is from Leah. Leah says, the best cleanse for strep that causes acne and puffiness on the face. Puffiness is not from strep. Puffiness is from the lymphatic system being overloaded with debris that the liver cannot handle, and usually it happens because your liver is overburdened and maxed out with dealing with poisons, so it kind of lobs them over to your lymphatic system. And then the lymphatic system is not designed to take care of such a heavy burden of toxic load. So the way it deals with it is it holds on to more water, it dilutes the poisons, and so then you get puffy, right? So the way to deal with that puffiness is to look at the thyroid cleanse part A, and it involves doing extra lemon water in the day, cucumber juice before you go to bed, and aloe water before you go to bed. These things will also help to flush your lymphatic system out, and you'll be able to get rid of some of that puffiness. So that's not because of strep. And acne, though, is because of strep. So if you have acne going on, you want to make sure that you're doing the acne protocols and the strep, like the core 7 plus all the strep herbs that I just mentioned. All right. So I hope, Leah, that helps. Okay, Vasi says, good morning. Thanks for talking about my favorite topic. Thank you for being here, Vasi. Vasi is an amazing children's health practitioner. Find her at the Prevention Realm on Instagram. Definitely check her out. She has 2 little girls of her own, really dedicated mama and really dedicated practitioner. She's also an admin in our membership, and she responds primarily to questions on children's health. She's great. Luminita says, what can cause the translucent and sensitive teeth when on lifestyle? That is caused by the viral load in the body overall, which can sensitize or inflame the nerves in the mouth, the trigeminal nerves that go into the gums in the mouth and make the teeth sensitive. Like, for example, if it was just one tooth, became sensitive, that's not overall viral load. When the whole mouth becomes sensitive in general, and the teeth in general become sensitive, and the gum line in general becomes sensitive, that's because of a viral load, usually shingles. It can also be Epstein-Barr. Zohra says, that's so interesting to know about children. I've taught many young kids over many years. I know you're a teacher, right, Zohra? And Hip Hop's Healthy Habits is also a teacher. She does some beautiful puppetry, and she's a ventriloquist. And so she does some beautiful puppetry with children's puppets, and does stories for children healing on medical medium protocols. In fact, she was part of our original children's program, Flourish, where she did little skits for the kids, and they're absolutely gold. Thank you for that. So Carrie says, I've done over 30 rounds of advanced 369s and never experienced black tongue before. I'm doing a 369 now, and have had a black tongue for weeks. Is it perhaps because cleansing is deeper? Yes, it's because it's cleansing deeper. It's actually coming out through the tongue, which it didn't come out before. So when you go deeper, it can come out from other places. And so if you've done 30 rounds of it, great, not a problem. It's just you're going deeper, excavating deeper, and it's nothing really to be worried about. Kim says, thanks so much about, what about ingrown toenails? Is there a home remedy that you would recommend? There's nothing that Anthony recommends about ingrown toenails. The best thing is to keep trimming them in time. Make sure every week you check on them and trim them so they don't grow in all the way. But yeah, that's usually, I believe that's usually also viral and heavy metals. Carrie says, I wish that all teachers could take the Flourish program and learn medical medium info. It would completely revolutionize the way we address child behavior and education in general. Thank you for saying that, Carrie. Yes, because the Flourish program is designed to help caregivers and parents understand their children's behavior. Because behavior is where we struggle so much with children. We struggle with getting them to change their habits. We struggle with them, struggle to help them change and adopt new food things that we want them to do, supplements we want them to do. The tantrums and the fight and back with children that's so hard for parents to deal with. All of these things matter. It matters to really, it matters to learn and know exactly how to address these things. And these beautiful teachers who also come from Waldorf education, which I believe addresses children's behavior in the truest way, in the way closest to medical medium information and how compassionate and kind it is. And these are child experts who've been teachers for decades, addressing how to handle our children, how to come to them, how to talk to them, how to present new ideas, how to work through a challenge. I mean, how many of you here have had to struggle with your child, children you've caretaken for, that they're just not listening and what have you, right? So it's important to pay attention to that. David George, what does the Flourish program cover for birth and pregnancy? It covers a small section. It's not comprehensive. I will be upfront about that, but we do talk about fertility, how to improve fertility, and we do talk about pregnancy. We talk about all the pregnancy issues that can happen during pregnancy, after pregnancy, postpartum. So there's a long section that we use to cover that. I do have a longer birth prep program coming either later this year or early next year that we're working on, that it's going to be completely revolutionary. We've never done anything like this before, and we will be sharing more in depth about pregnancy, postpartum, and really getting into birth and how to navigate this medical system and how the medical system basically screws women who are trying to give birth. The number one violence against women, in my opinion, has happened from OBGYNs. So we address that. We go into it, there's one whole module in Flourish dedicated to this, because I don't think that you can cover just pregnancy and birth. You need to cover pregnancy, birth, and postpartum, and baby issues, which we cover, because all of that, how you are in pregnancy, how you give birth, impacts your baby's health, right? That matters. So, David, I hope that makes sense and helps you. It's helped actually many women joined who were pregnant or had newborns, and they all said that the program really helped them. All right, so next question is from Luminita. Luminita says, what can cause translucent and sensitive teeth? Okay, I talked about the sensitive teeth. The translucent teeth is sometimes, it's not on the protocols, it's just you lose minerals from years of not taking care of your teeth. Okay, Zahara, I saw that. Leah, you're welcome. Zohra says, I'm taking a break from teaching currently due to health, but have taught elementary school for 15 years. That's amazing. Zohra, could you imagine like you going back to teaching with all this information that you have about children and children's health? Like you would just be an awesome teacher with everything that you know. Liga Egli says, my boy, 4 years old, gets rashes, sometimes from the foods like oat milk, sometimes from stressful situations. What are the rashes caused by? How can I support him? So rashes, it depends, Liga. I don't have enough information because rashes are tricky. Is it hives? I don't know if it's a hives rash or an eczema rash, or it could be any number of rashes that are showing up, right? So if you are getting a rash, if your child is getting a rash, then very likely they are either not tolerating something in the ingredients of the food that you're giving them, or their liver is overburdened. If it's a clean food and they're still reacting, their liver is overburdened. It seems to me like your 4-year-old has a burdened liver for sure. And so how you'd support him is to reduce the amount of other foods, right? So if your child has eggs or dairy, gluten, corn, soy, canola, vinegar, fermented foods, any other like natural flavors or things in the diet, I would start to remove all of those so that you can actually give your child's liver the best chance to heal. So if he's reacting to oat milk, is there anything else in the oat milk? Are you making it at home? Is it just oats and water? Or is it oats with natural flavors and oils and other things that are found commonly in oat milk that you buy in the store? So he may not be reacting to oats, he may be reacting to some other ingredient. You have to be a detective to figure out what's going on. And if he's reacting because of stressful situations, that immediately tells me that he has a burdened liver. Because if he's reacting when stress shows up, that means adrenaline shows up in his body, it overburdens the liver, and then he reacts with a rash. That's definitely a liver issue. So cleaning up his diet would be the number one place to start. In fact, even supplements I wouldn't touch other than like B12, zinc, and maybe some lemon balm for him because he's 4 years old, but work on his food and his diet. That's often the most important thing to address with children. Okay, so Car Hogan says, my kids don't like lemon water. Is regular filtered water enough to hydrate them throughout the day? Actually, no. Regular filtered water isn't enough. And the reason is that it doesn't have the correct structure. And I know Anthony doesn't talk about structure of water, but the reason that cucumber hydrates us and celery hydrates us and watermelon hydrates us is because there is a natural structure of water that is found in fresh fruits and vegetables and breast milk. It's very, very hydrating. And it's also found in fresh spring water. Regular filtered tap water doesn't have that structure. It doesn't have the minerals. It doesn't have the way to help you get the water into your cells. That's what the lemon does. If they don't like lemon water, then you can use some orange juice. You can use some apples. You can use some cucumbers in the water. You know, like a little bit of something fresh will help the water structure in a way to get it into the cells. So if they don't like lemon, you can choose something else. And I was gonna say, if they don't like lemon water, have you tried giving it to them with honey, making it into sort of a lemonade? That might be better too. Coconut water, cucumber juice, watermelon are all better at hydrating you than filtered tap water with nothing else in it. Does that make sense? Okay. Kim says, bottom lip, I have a hemangioma, looks like a red mole, yes, and it's grown. What can I apply to the lip to shrink it? It's vascular. That would be, I would work on a lot of antiviral protocols for that. I would work on a lot of shaga, a lot of reishi to help with that. But I would work on also bringing in more pomegranate juice every single day, cherry juice every single day. Those things will help. Okay. Carolina says, in which book is the strep protocol? There are many different strep protocols in Cleanse to Heal. He talks about acne protocols, bladder protocols, diverticulitis protocols, protocols that are all acne protocols that are all caused by strep, but there are slightly different protocols for each one. So you can go check that out. Luminita says, can translucent teeth be reversed? Yes, many of my clients have regained the opacity of their teeth by remineralizing. Fairy Kisses Enchanted Wishes. Hi, it's Andy. Hey, Andy Plack, how are you doing? Mary Jo Poudret, how do you feel about reflexology for removing viruses? Let's be clear, reflexology doesn't remove viruses at all. Let's be clear. Reflexology is the massage of some pressure points on the feet. And you can do hand reflexology, you can do ear reflexology, but it's not going to kill anything. It's not going to kill viruses at all. It'll relax the body. It can calm down adrenaline. It can bring feel-good feelings into your body and produce good adrenaline, but it won't kill anything. I'm not sure who told you that or who said that. It's just not true. Next question is from Elizabeth Wales. I wish I could get CEUs from your presentation. I'm a lactation consultant, IBCLC. Thanks so much for the info. You're welcome. I wish I could too. For me, and the course would have to be accredited, and there's a whole process to go through that. So I don't know. It would be a long journey to get that done. David George, does how you feel during pregnancy affect your baby in a positive or negative way? Like depression during pregnancy, babies will still be okay even if you don't have a super positive pregnancy. Yes, they can still be okay. It's just that if you are dealing with a certain condition, like for example, depression can be caused by toxic heavy metals, it can be caused by severe trauma, ongoing stress, it can be caused by adrenal dysfunction, it can be caused by not having enough glucose and minerals to the brain, and a combination of all those things. So if you have depression, then mom is dealing with a root cause that is one of the things that I just mentioned, which then can be passed on to the baby. Now, the baby may not be born depressed. In very severe cases, the baby may be born depressed. But in severe cases, that would be happening. If it's not so severe and mom's dealing with some, the baby will definitely deal with some of the root causes that she's dealing with. Right? So if her brain is lacking in glucose, or she's got toxic heavy metals in the brain, or she's got severe adrenal dysfunction. I mean, any of those things, or she's dealt with PTSD and trauma, then those things will get passed on to the baby. But the thing is, it's correctable. Like when the baby's born, you can correct these things, especially if you know the root causes that your wife is dealing with. Okay. Aaron Cook, could you talk about Asynclitic birth? I went to Webster Technique chiropractor for months, but my baby still got stuck. I labored naturally for 24 hours and unfortunately wound up with an epidural. So, I mean, I wouldn't be able to troubleshoot that for you just like this, but if you labored, so you said you labored naturally for 24 hours and you needed an epidural, but did you need an epidural or did you need a C-section? You didn't need a C-section, right, Erin? So you need an epidural and so the epidural helped the baby move. I'm just not sure what happened at the end. Position of the baby matters a lot when giving birth. I have 9 years of experience in childbirth education. I taught hypnobirthing for 9 years. I've taught over 400 couples on how to give birth naturally. So I did this work for a long time. And the position of the baby matters a lot in giving birth. So if you went to a Webster guy, and that is the right thing to do. And if you went to, and you say baby got stuck, so I'm not sure what you mean. Like I need more information. So let me know and I will come back to your comment, okay? Andy says, my daughter caught a bug at school last week. Fever, cough, cold, she was all better, got adjusted at the chiropractor, now she has it all over again. Is the bug leaving the body? No, if she's got symptoms, the bug is attacking the body, not leaving the body. Christine Savea, what can have fungal issues in the ears? First of all, how do you know it's a fungal issue? Who diagnosed it? How do you know for sure? Often in the ear, we have strep issues, which are never sort of diagnosed that way. Yeah, so there's that. Mindy Ilya says, had a hemangioma on my tongue that would bleed tremendously. I noticed it's gone the other day. Years of cellular juice as well as much of this protocol. Yes, exactly. My daughter was born with a hemangioma on the back of her head. And it was dark red when she was born, and now it's like a light pink. So it's kind of leaving, which is awesome. It's so good. Sophia says, what is the reason for tendonitis? Tendonitis is caused by Epstein-Barr. Honey, it's not due to overuse at all, actually. Tendonitis is often just because of viral loads, and the virus that impacts it is EBV. Okay. David says, can you do a hypnobirthing course one day? That would be amazing. So to teach hypnobirthing, I have to keep my current education with them, with my education with hypnobirthing current. Like I have to keep up with all the requirements and the licensing and all of that. And it's a lot of work. It's, I gave up doing it. I only gave up my hypnobirthing certification and training for it every year because it was too much time needed for me to actually, to like do the work and do all the reading and the CPE credits and all that. Now, can I keep up with it? Yes. Can I teach it? Yes. Do I understand it? Yes. But I would teach it very differently today than if I did it years ago when I was not understanding medical medium so well. So that's why I've created my own course, and and it's coming soon, and it will be about birth preparation, but it's going to cover everything from fertility all the way when you start thinking about having a child, to fertility, to conception, to pregnancy, all 9 months of pregnancy, what to do in everything that they offer you, what to do if you end up being offered antibiotics at birth, what to do if they tell you that you have group B strep positive, what to do if you have the glucose test is positive, like how to deal with all those situations, right? All the way to like the actual day of giving birth, how to give birth, how to plan yourself so that you don't end up with a bad birth. I have to tell you a story. I have a client and a friend who just gave birth like last week. And she had a C-section for her first baby. She had a natural birth, the second one, vaginal birth, but she basically ended up using a ton of medications, epidural, induction, blah, 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 all of it for her second baby. And she felt really crappy after both births. She's been on medical medium for I think 3 or 4 years, really been healing her body. She had a great pregnancy with this one. She just gave birth literally in like 3 hours, no drugs, no intervention. She did an amazing job, and she trusted her body. Like, we worked on that. We worked on trusting, we worked on uplifting, we worked on how to think about birth, how to focus on birth, how like what to expect for birth, right? So we're going to be getting into all of these things from my own experiences. I've had 3 births with no pain, no discomfort. I can tell you what a woman needs. I've been at the birth of my 2 nephews, and they were both born into my arms, right? I helped my sister navigate a very difficult issue with the position of the baby at the start of her labor, where she was having back labor, and I talked about this in my last YouTube live, and I helped her turn the baby. So I'm just saying, I have a lot of experience, and I've helped mothers as well, like try to figure out, I'm like, okay, this is what you have going on, let's work on that, right? So it's a lot, and preparing for birth, we also have to have a good birth, you have to deal with birth trauma that happened to you when you were born, trauma that happened to your mom, and you can clear that up so that you can have a clean slate for birth. It's a lot of work, there's a lot of pieces to discuss, but I really get into it in that program, and I will be sharing that very soon. Okay, next question. Cara, is it normal to have aches and pains after 50 from aging, or is it more likely from Epstein-Barr? It's often viral, Cara. It's just not from aging. There's no such thing as just aging-related pain, right? Kim says, Mindy, how long have you been? Okay, that's a question for Mindy. Erin, coming back to me. She says her head got stuck in my pelvis, so I guess it made the birth take so much longer, and I was too exhausted to go on, so I got an epidural, and then still Pitocin on top of that because I wasn't progressing. So then the baby was born vaginally, right? Basically, Erin, if the baby got stuck, there was either inflammation in the pelvis, which is the only reason it can get stuck, or you're not relaxed enough to open enough to have the baby come out. That's pretty much it. You know, the babies have their own instinct about how to be born, and when they don't move, there's something going on. And you said that you were exhausted. Mom being exhausted can be a reason that labor will not progress. And they'll say the baby's stuck, but mom's exhausted. And I talk about labor exhaustion because that happened to me with my first, and how to deal with it, like how not to get exhausted and what you can take supplement-wise and what you can have on hand during birth so that you don't get exhausted, right? There's a lot of ways to look at this. And also the way you labor, the way you kind of work on all that, it matters. It matters to know. It's such a big topic, Erin, that I would have to do like a whole course, like for 3 hours, to explain all the pieces of what go into that for you to understand what went wrong in your labor, for example, right? But just know it's usually inflammation in the pelvis, so the baby's having trouble moving through, or that I just want you to bear in mind, the vaginal path from the cervix to the opening of the vagina is 4 inches. In most women, it's about that long. You can put your finger inside and check, right? It's not very long. That path is not the problem. It's how the baby lowers. And there's not a lot of room to get stuck. Something's going on. If the baby's not turning, what the baby needs is lots of room to turn. And that's what happened to my friend. She was, who just gave birth. She was having, as she was surging, AKA contraction, I don't call it that. As she was surging, she was finding that she was having pain on both sides. And I told her to get on all fours and just to sway her hips. And she said that relieved it completely. You have to really keep moving during labor in the right ways so that baby doesn't actually end up in a position where it cannot get out of. And that's just giving it more room. And I'm not sure, I'm not there, and I don't want to judge, and I don't want to sound like I know what's going on in your labor, but these are just some of the things that can be an issue. I hope that helped. I don't know if it did. All right, so Luminita says, what is the cause of serious exfoliating toenails in baby and toddler? How to help this? That's just not having enough minerals in the body to strengthen the toenails. Okay, so you need more silica, more nettle, more MSM, things like that. Kim says, thank you so much for giving us your time this morning to answer our questions. Anytime. It's just my joy to do it. Thank you for being here. PK, hello. PK said, wow. Okay. How much, if any, healthy fat does a 4-year-old child need in a day, or can they do just well in fruits and veggies? Look, my kids will eat an avocado every day, right? So half an avocado, a little bit of avocado is in their meal every day. What other fat do my kids eat? My kids will eat a little bit of cashews, right? They'll snack on they'll make their own trail mix with a little cashews, pumpkin seeds, and some raisins. And they eat that in their afternoon snack around 3 or 4 o'clock. And before that, they'll eat some fruit. So either way, my kids are getting a little bit of fat every day, and those kinds of fats are super healthy for kids, and you can include those, and should include those actually for young children. Hemp seeds are great too. Leah says, I have wrist pain when bending. It's off and on. Some days, no soreness at all, and some days I can't even bend. That's 100% EBV. I'm sorry, you're dealing with that. So do a more EBV focus, bring in the core 7 and bring in some extra support for joints and tendons, and like things like MSM and nettle leaf and silica. They all help with joints and mobility. And kale is really good for connective tissue disorders, which is what tendonitis is. Okay, so yeah. So David George says, I can't wait. Hip Hop's Healthy Habits. So excited to have this course for the little ones in the future. Yes. So it's going to be there for mamas and parents, and like to get involved and to learn more. And I'm excited for it because I think that we need to be teaching our kids and helping our kids. Like my passion is with the youth because they're our future. And how many families can we help? How can we get this word out more? Like we really want to get more families involved because it matters to the future of our living on this planet. It's really important. All right, guys, that seems to be all the questions you guys have for today. Check out Flourish. It's on my website. It's the newest course that we have, Flourish Self-Paced. I'm going to post the links on Instagram, and I'll post the link under this video as well, so you can find it if you're interested to know more. Check out the program, learn from the program. It's honestly going to help a lot of people, and if you haven't got the emergency kits, just get the emergency kits. Start with those, the cold and flu emergency kit, the fever emergency kit, and the digestive issues. 3 most common issues that parents deal with their children. If you have questions and you'd like me to include more about other topics for children's health, please let me know. Also in Flourish, just so you know, we have 2 people talking about autism. I know it's a big hot topic. We have Dr. Andrea Labuti, who healed her son with medical meeting protocols for autism. And she is so passionate about healing autism. And she has an interview in Flourish as well. And we have a healing story from one of my clients who's healing nonverbal autism with her son, who's starting to talk. It is such a beautiful story. You guys have to check it out. I hope you have an awesome day. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the beautiful spring weather. I know I will be. And I will see you on the next live. All right, everyone. Take care. Hang on, Erin says, thanks so much. I think it definitely could have been stress because as I try as I might, I was extremely anxious and stressed and chose to go over 42 weeks. So I had to go to the hospital instead of home birth. Oh, honey, yeah, all those things can have an impact on why that happened. Birthing in a hospital when you wanted to birth at home is a big deal. I also teach women how to still birth at home, even if you go over, you can do that. David says, why do some women have such fast labors and others have longer ones? Could the shorter labors be from heavy metals? I could feel my daughter's head a month before she was born. So pernicious labors, which are the fast labors, often happen when a woman is more relaxed. She has fewer, adrenaline plays a big role in birth. So stress and adrenaline is the number one thing that impacts birth. So the second thing that impacts birth is the position of the baby, and many people don't know this. And there's a lot you can do for both. All right, I hope that answers your questions, and I look forward to the next one. Join me. I'm going to be doing a live in the middle of the week, so join me here. Hopefully we'll get more and more people on here. I'm trying to grow this platform. Please share about this live, because your sharing helps me so much. When you share, people will join, people will come, people will watch. We want to grow this platform, so any help you can get, you can give me. I'd be so appreciative. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye, Alma.